and that should be going now. Okay. Very good. So I don't even know where to start on this. Let's talk about engagement bait. So the reason why engagement bait is the thing right now is because Facebook has actually always had some rules in place. It's in their Facebook page policies. So if you have a Facebook page, when you sign up and you agree to the terms and conditions, they require that basically you don't ask people to like, share, or comment in exchange for stuff. And that's always been there, actually. So if you are using a Facebook page, you have signed terms and conditions, whether you read them or not, which says, I will not ask people to like, comment, or share in exchange for free stuff. And they've had that forever because they don't want to commoditize. They don't want to turn likes and shares and comments into something that can be traded, because those things aren't currency. Those are engagement points. Those are touch points. Do y'all see the distinction there? Like when you have a Facebook page and you're asking someone, you're saying you like my page, or you comment on my post, or you share this post and I'll give you something for free. You're giving something away that you're basically using something as leverage that doesn't belong to you. The like button does not belong to you. That's Facebook's trademarked property. The comment function on posts is not yours. It doesn't belong to you. That's a data acquisition point for Facebook. So when I'm talking about all this stuff, keep in mind that I'm just one person. I'm a particularly nerdy person, and I am thinking about this I'm trying to be as objective about this as possible, and I'm thinking about the whole ecosystem of Messenger and Facebook pages from not only your perspective, but Facebook's perspective. So Facebook is kind of a fascinating thing. It can't be described as one particular thing, but what we're going to be talking about it as is it's kind of a media company in a way. What they do is they aggregate a bunch of stuff, a bunch of content through their different things, and you have the news feed, which is kind of like the central aggregated hub of all this content. And while they have your attention on all this stuff, they sell that attention to advertisers strategically. So what they've done is they've built a really kind of sophisticated system which understands basically the context in which you're looking at Facebook. So it kind of sees the other posts around what you're seeing. It understands a little bit about who you are, or at least based on the information you've told Facebook. And then based on that information, it puts quote unquote relevant stuff in front of your face. So that's kind of Facebook's business model. And I hate to say it, but it's not really more complicated than that. People talk about the algorithm. People are, there's so much speculation about what the algorithm is and what it does. But ultimately, if I were to break it down into just one sentence, what it really is it's just the algorithm, quote unquote algorithm, is just a mechanism designed to put the most relevant stuff in front of you while you might have intent on that content. Okay, so if anybody's been doing content marketing, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know why ads work the way that they do. So Facebook really wants you to be giving them data all the time, because the more data they have on you and the kind of stuff you like to comment on, the more relevance that they can give, the more of a relevance score they can give to certain ads that they can serve to you. So when you are asking people to comment in exchange for something, that's not really good data for them. If you're asking somebody to comment one word and they will receive something in Messenger, for example, a lot of people use the comments growth tool that way. Do you think that's really relevant to Facebook? Yeah, you're engaging on a certain post, but they don't have a lot of insight into what's happening in Messenger after that. So think of it from their perspective. They're looking for engagement. They're looking for things that look like conversations. And when you ask somebody to say yes in a comment and you will get this thing, that isn't useful to them. And that's why they're cracking down on that kind of thing. So today, I'd like to show you, I'm going to attempt to kind of like build a little bot, like a fun little bot. And what we're going to do is we're going to test some copy. And I'm going to show you guys and empower you guys with some information that I hope you can take and share with your buddies out there in the community. And also, hopefully this will be useful for you when you're building out your comments growth tool campaigns. Because a lot of people are confused about how this works or what the implications of these new rules are, but they're not actually new rules. And the implications are incredible because if you can do this right, you're going to get really highly qualified leads into your messenger funnels, and you're going to be able to have really good conversations and get a lot of really great information from people really quickly, so that you can use all that information to segment your users and communicate with them more effectively in a more personalized way. So here we've got SpamBot 5000, and I just created this page. So what we are going to do is start messing with it and start getting it set up. For all of y'all who just got here, thank you so much for joining us. We're kind of talking about Facebook stuff during office hours today and what the new, quote, new policies about comment baiting and stuff really are. And I'm going to show you some actual examples of this. I'm going to make them up on the spot, and I'm going to show you the patterns, the verbal patterns to avoid, and also the ones that might work better than others based on the thousands of campaigns that I've helped run over the last year with brands as big as Versace. Okay, so let's go start building out this page. I just created this page, SpamBot 5000, and this is going to be a test page that we use to mess around and have fun. So I'm going to, what we need to do is we need to go to the settings here and make sure that we are all set. So messaging, we need to kind of make sure that this is available. So, okay, good. Prompt visitors to send messages, yes. Sponsored greeting, pre-appointment reminders, turn this off. This should be just a crash course in setting up a new page for you guys if you're doing client work. Like, you just want to go straight into message settings and make sure that all this stuff is set. So this should all be saved. And I'm going to go down to Messenger platform here. And we have not installed ManyChat on this yet, but we are going to. And whitelisted domains, discover. We want to turn off discover settings. That's like in Google when you put a no follow on a link. That's kind of what this does. It basically prevents you from getting found in the news feed or in the messenger feed, because that's how you get a lot of spam if you don't optimize that. So this is all good. We should have this all set, and we're going to go back to the inbox and see if we can see anything. Inbox should be enabled. No messages. Great. Page. Okay, so let's just make sure. Okay, great. So this page is actually should be live. And what we're going to do now is we're going to just tab over and we're going to open ManyChat. And we're going to install a bot on this guy. Oops. Okay. For some reason, when I tab over to new tabs or a new window, it will kind of black out or it'll white out for you guys. So if that happens, just let me know and I will switch back to the right tab. So let's hit ManyChat. We're going to install a new bot on SpamBot 5000 page. And wow, yeah, we've grown a lot in the last year. That's a big number. Okay, let's go ahead and add a new page. I have a lot of test pages and different things. SpamBot 5000, connect a Facebook page. In case y'all have struggled with getting a new page connected or seen all this stuff, this'll be a good refresher for you. We're going to connect to SpamBot 5000. Okay, one click and we have a bot on our page, which is absolutely incredible to me. And let's see what else we could do here. I want to go and make sure that we don't have any of this stuff set up. So we're going to go to automation. We don't really need a main menu for this case. Default reply is disabled. Basically, the default reply is what people are going to get when they type something to your bot and the bot doesn't recognize it. In other words, it's not a keyword or it doesn't trigger an automation of some kind. This is what should pop up. And you can obviously edit this message, but it's not super useful if you already have a messaging strategy built. That's why we disable it by default, but you can totally enable it if you want to. Welcome message is something that anybody who hits this send message button on the page will get that welcome message. Basically, if the bot doesn't know where they came from, like in other words, they come directly from the Facebook page or they find you in Messenger and just send you a generic message, this welcome message will fire. And if you leave it blank, I don't think anything will fire, and that's why it's blank by default. But keep in mind that not everybody sees the welcome message. For example, if they hit you from a comments growth tool, if somebody comments and they get a follow-up in Messenger, they will not see the welcome message because the bot knows where they're coming from. It says, oh, you're coming from a comments growth tool. I'm not going to send you the welcome message because we're launching you into a campaign. You know, think of growth tools and the comments growth tool as just campaign entry points. If somebody doesn't come in through a campaign entry point, like a growth tool, for example, they won't see this welcome message. So that's just a little bit of trivia that some people get hung up on. And that's how that works. So this is blank and therefore won't send by default. Again, I'm just going through a basic bot-like checklist in my head. That's I just want to make sure that these automations are kind of disabled by default, and that we definitely have the start and stop actions. These are pre-built into every bot and you can't change them, but sometimes it's just like anything, you want to make sure that things are all kosher before you start messing around with stuff. So the next thing that I would love to do is, if you guys want, let's actually do some of this stuff live. So let's go to the dashboard, and I'm going to copy this link address, and I would love for you guys to subscribe to SpamBot 5000. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about how some of these flows might work or how some of these things might look. And you guys can experience this stuff live, either on your mobile device or in your browser. So let me just go back over to Zoom, and I'm going to send this stuff to you. Oh, shit. Are you guys not able to see anything? Everyone, are you guys seeing stuff now at all, or no? Nothing. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on one second. See, this is one of the problems. Amy's like, this whole time, why are you guys still here? Oh my God, you guys are so patient. I'm going to share my whole screen. I don't know why by default it makes you not share your whole screen. Let me just go back, and you guys are so patient and awesome. One second. Zoom is so great for like 3 reasons, and otherwise, oh, my smooth, soothing voice. Thank you, Gideon. I do have a rather distinctive, smooth voice. All right. Holy shit, guys. Share screen. How do you just do the whole thing? Desktop 1. All right. Share screen. You should be able to see everything now. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see everything? You see everything. Hopefully I don't have anything incriminating on my desktop. Okay. Okay, Amy, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Holy shit. That is funny. Okay, minimize zoom. How the hell do I do that? We're going to go like this, and we're going to kill that. I don't need that. I feel like I should. No, there we go. Okay, good. Good. Thanks, guys. I actually work in technology, believe it or not. Okay. Can you also see the live chat as well? That would be crazy. Okay, good. Awesome. Well, okay, so SpamBot 5000. Here's our page. Basically, what you didn't see was I went through Facebook page settings and just made sure that all of our like settings are kind of on the thing. Hopefully, the recording picked some of that stuff up, and if it didn't, then I'll just cry. All right, so we have these automations disabled by default. Hopefully, you got some insight about how these things work. So let's go ahead and go to SpamBot 5000 and create a post. And because this is kind of where things are going to go. Let's just create. Okay, good. Marnie, you should ignore everything I said. That's exactly what the correct thing to do is. Just ask anybody who's ever dated me. That is the correct answer. Okay. SpamBot 5000. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to ask you if this is a good way to do things or not. Okay, I'm going to publish this post, and then you're going to tell me if this is the right way to use this tool or not. So what I've just done is I've published this post. It's a very basic post. I haven't even added like a photo or anything. So it's going to get very low engagement, but you're all a captive audience and you're going to help me out. So let's go to ManyChat and let's create a new comments growth tool. And I'm going to put that down there. New growth tool. Facebook changed everything. Because that's what people really think. People think that everything's changed. Actually, nothing's really changed. So select a post. We're going to select this post. Yes, that one. Select. All right. Because I am not paying attention to anything, I'm going to click that I confirm that this page is explicit. I'm not going to use any keywords. So I'm just writing some copy here to try to help everybody understand how this works. Send to everybody who replies. I'm going to write up a quick little, oops, I'm going to save this. I'm going to get to questions right after this, and let's just create this little interaction first. And this is actually going to be a quiz for you guys. I want you guys to think about this and tell me if this is the right way to use this tool. I'm going to add a little delay block, and we're going to just do like 1 second because these are like a little messed up right now. Sometimes when you put like a delay block of 3 seconds, it'll for some reason go for 15 seconds. A little bit of inside information for you guys about the development team. We have so many different services inside of ManyChat, right? We have like messaging, we have broadcasting, we have sequences, we have flows, we have like the user interface. And each of these services, what I call services or what devs call services, they each require some computational power, and our servers do all that computation. The thing is, we have millions and millions of these events happening every day, somebody typing a message or somebody putting a delay block in or somebody sending a message. So this is how it works. We are trying to tune everything so that everything works really fast and is super reliable, but it's kind of crazy sometimes. So things like the delay block, this little delay block, we have a processor that basically looks at that and says, okay, what's that delay block and what should that look like inside of Messenger? Sometimes when we're getting loaded with messages or people are running a bunch of promotions or something, that delay block will actually not process correctly, or it'll process in a way which tells the machine to display it for longer than it should. So we're going to make it minimal, like 1 second for now, and maybe we'll get 3 to 5 seconds out of that delay. Just a little bit of inside information for you guys. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do text. Was this the compliant way to go about starting this converse? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick reply. I'm going to say totally. And then we're going to do another quick reply. And I don't know if you see what I'm doing here. I'm creating a little quiz for you guys. Totally, not really. Okay. And let's actually go to Flow Builder because we're going to build out just 2 little things. Okay, totally. And then we're going to send a message. I'm going to say, you're actually going to know the answer based on the quiz responses. Let's. Okay, not really. Okay, and then we're going to add another message and we're going to say, okay, we're going to publish this. And this is actually going to be a live little flow that we're going to be able to participate in all together as a group, as a little family today. Okay, Facebook changed everything. That's what the name of this growth tool is, and it should be live right now on the thing when I press active. Let's go ahead and activate. I clicked way too many times, and that happened. So I'm going to refresh this page, everybody. And what I would love for you to do is when I give you the go-ahead to try commenting on this post, and I really hope it'll work. And we'll go through and talk about what this post is and the pattern it follows, and we will try to learn something here today. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page. Double check that this is active. This flow is, the auto response is there. Opt-in actions are there. Okay, guys, I would love for you to comment on this post. Amy Jo is here and she's commenting, yes, thank you. Nice to see you, Amy Jo. I've been seeing you in the community asking some great questions. Marnie, hello. Leanne McCall, look at you guys participating. That's so fun. Okay. Awesome. Let me know if you get that follow-up message. Sometimes when I set up these comments growth tools with a brand new page and I immediately try to demo them, they fail, which is super fun when you're on a big meeting with somebody who's important, who's making a decision to purchase ManyChat. Happens way more often than you think. But I keep trying, don't I? Just keep going for it. I just saw your messages hit the page inbox, which means that since we've registered it, it should be going. That's wonderful. Okay, got it. Everybody's got it. That is tight. So make sure and read that follow-up response and go ahead and reply to that in some way so you get launched into that flow. Sean, I can't talk to you right now. I love you, man, but I'm in the middle of something. All right. Why did that do that? Okay, we need to go back here. Okay. Tight. All right, let me just go into here and let me just see if I can see any y'all doing stuff. Wow, look at you guys go, being so cute. All right, so it looks like, Leanne, you got the messages, but you didn't interact. But, oh, maybe you did interact. I'm just not seeing them here. Awesome. All right, so it looks like most of y'all got the right answer, which is tight. And let's talk about this post real quick, okay? Let's talk about this post because even though this is kind of a blatant misuse of this post, and it's kind of silly, like a silly example of this, it's kind of funny because you'll see a lot of posts that follow this basic pattern. And I'm about to outline this pattern for you guys, all right? So here is a question. Hey, what do you think of the new Facebook policies, good or bad for business? Okay, it asks a question, which really is a great idea. Okay, it's really a great idea to ask a question in a Facebook post. Here's the thing. When you say comment yes below to find out how screwed you are, or if you just say comment any particular word to get anything, what you're doing is you're distracting from the question. You're saying, okay, I asked you a really good question, got your mind going on something that's really important, and then boom, I'm telling you to do something that's kind of irrelevant. Like now first I've engaged the good part of your brain, the thoughtful part of your brain, which is like, oh shit, I'm going to think about this. And then what you've done is you're engaging the I'm addicted to the red dot part of your brain. And now you're just giving them some really kind of cheap engagement opportunity. And a lot of people are going to engage with this, actually. If you hear about people rapidly acquiring new leads into ManyChat, they do. And a lot of them use this method of just saying, hey, comment this below and we'll give you this stuff. That's a really great way to tease people into starting a conversation with you. But believe it or not, the conversion rate from comment to subscriber is going to be a lot lower. And not only that, but the quality of those leads is going to be much lower than if you had just asked a good question and then found another clever way to get them to comment or to let them know that they're going to get a follow-up. So let's take this one step at a time. Ask a good question. It's never a bad idea. Ask a question that's going to kind of give people, it's going to polarize them. This is something that I spoke with Molly about the other day. Anybody who doesn't know, little inside secret, Molly works with us now at ManyChat, and that's really, I'm talking about the Molly Pittman. She's such a badass. Anyway, we were talking about this yesterday, and it's really about asking a polarizing question, something that's going to get people to speak up and comment and be engaged. So this part distracts from that. Comment yes below to find out how screwed you are. That's really not the best way to go about this. So here's my question, folks. Like, what could I do to make this a little bit better? Well, we actually have to talk about one other thing, which is just explicit compliance. Remember when I set up this growth tool? I was clicking around here, Facebook changed everything. This is the name of my growth tool. And remember when I was just like thoughtlessly kind of getting this set up and I clicked this little checkbox right here? How many of you have mindlessly clicked this checkbox without paying attention to what it actually says? I know a lot of people do it. And this is not the best way to go about this. Like, Diana, oh yeah, girl, own it. It's okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. This is just one of these things that we have to be all on the same page about. I confirm that the selected post is explicit that this page is going to contact users who comment via Messenger. Capital M Messenger. So let's read this post and see if this complies with that statement. Hey, what do you think of the blah, blah, blah question? Comment yes below to find out how screwed you are. That is a really interesting situation because we are saying that you're going to find something out, but we have not expressed how that's going to happen. We've said we've implied that they're going to get a follow-up. All right, I think it would be fair to say that we've implied that here, but we haven't told them which channel that they're going to do. So here's the thing. I really, again, just to get meta, come back to earth here. I really appreciate you guys sticking through this with me because this is actually really good information. And this is something that we need to do a better job of teaching people about so that they understand how powerful this tool is and how actually using it correctly is way more powerful than just using it to spam people. So this post is just it's not in compliance. So when you check this box, what we've done, the ManyChat guys, what we've done is we've put this box here to cover our asses. It says, I confirm that the selected post is explicit that the page is going to follow up with you via Messenger. That means that anybody who uses ManyChat and then misuses it by not telling people in the post, if Facebook comes to us later and they're like, dude, we're getting a lot of spam from your app, what's the deal? We can be like, hey man, we put a little checkbox there and we let everybody know that they should explicitly tell people this, but they didn't. It's not our problem. So yeah, so Diana, I use this with a Facebook Live. In the live, I absolutely told them what was going to be happening. Yeah, that's amazing. That's the right way to do it. So, like, if you're in a Facebook Live and you're expressing that people are going to get a follow-up, that's really cool. Here's the thing. There's some room for interpretation here, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is if you're doing a Facebook Live, or if you're doing a video post, you're doing a post with a photo or something, you can do this without adding copy to your actual post saying that you're going to get a follow-up in Messenger. The point is that you have to communicate with the person who's posting or commenting. You have to communicate with them somehow that they should expect to get a follow-up from you in Messenger if certain things happen. So your idea of talking about it during the live and saying, hey, what do you think of this? If you have a comment, we're going to follow up with something in Messenger. If you have a certain kind of comment, if you comment about this certain topic, or you have a very thoughtful comment. I love doing that because when you tell people, if you leave a really thoughtful comment, we're going to follow up with you with something special in Messenger. That's exciting. Do you see why there's a difference between saying, if you leave a thoughtful comment, we're going to follow up with you in Messenger, and the difference between that and then saying, hey, comment yes to get something in Messenger? Like, those two things one is asking people to engage and then kind of incentivizing them to have a more personal relationship with you if they engage. The other one is just get this for that. And that's the pattern that Facebook doesn't want to see. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm going to cough a little bit. So let's go create another post, and let's try, again, just for the sake of learning this, let's create another post on SpamBot 5000, and let's create something that's a little bit more compliant and something that's going to be easier to work with here. All right, so let's just ask an open-ended question. I'm making all this up as we go. So here's one thing that comes up a lot. A lot of people who are email marketers who've been doing email marketing for their businesses for a long time, they look at the engagement in Messenger and they think that using the same email tactics in Messenger will just bump up their open rates and click-through rates, which in some cases can be partially true, but in most cases it actually erodes the relationship that you have with your subscribers. So this is what I'm going to ask. The question I'm going to ask is basically something like, hey there, are you an email marketer? What do you think of copying and pasting emails into and just using Messenger as an email repeater for your subscribers? Okay, so this is kind of a rudimentary way. This isn't the best copy in the world by any means, but this is just really to kind of prove a point. We're going to publish this. All right, so I've got the Zoom group chat open, and I'd love to hear from you. Here are the two posts that I just posted. Can you tell me what the difference here is? Can in your own words, can you tell me a little bit about what you see differently here? I'd love to hear from you, Amy, Brian, Diana. Can you give me a little bit of maybe your thoughts on the difference between these two posts? Can you see? Nice, Marnie. Marnie says better opening to a conversation. I really love that. I think we were told not to ask people to say yes or no. Nice. Okay. Let's everyone. Let's talk about these two. I love these two answers. So Marnie, better opening to a conversation. Amy, new one is open-ended and lets them know a conversation will happen. Wow. Okay. So even though my copy is rudimentary and I kind of just came up with it on the spot, I think the message here has landed, and I really love that. So Amy and Marnie, thank you. Diana, we'll get to your answer too, because I think it's really cool. And this is really my philosophy about Messenger, and I think that this philosophy really, it's not because I came up with it, or I didn't actually come up with it. I just have observed, again, thousands of campaigns over the last year, and I've worked with tons of people, which is just an enormous amount of people, learning how this stuff works. And the bottom line is that Messenger is a conversational medium. And if there's one thing that I can help you with today, and that's one thing I want you to take away from this today, is understand deep in your soul that Messenger is a conversational medium. So it is not a one-way channel, much like email. Email is very much a one-way channel in a lot of situations. Nice, Brian. Second version is more colloquial and encourages conversation whilst being explicit in what happens next. That's great. I love that answer. It's very succinct. So let's talk about how human beings use Messenger. And I think that this is something that we forget to think about a lot, because we're marketers and we're always thinking about, like, what can we do? How do we get people to do something? How do we influence people's behavior? And that's an important question to ask. But I think a way more important question to ask in this particular situation is, what do people use Messenger for? So again, another chance for us to all talk to each other and get to know each other a little bit more. What was the last Messenger conversation that you had? I would love to hear just something, and I'll start. I organized a movie night with a friend of mine. That was the last Messenger conversation that I had that was outside of ManyChat, outside of like testing a page. So that's how I use Messenger. Nice. Dan, I was telling somebody about ManyChat. That's meta as hell. Customer inquiry about a remedy. That's wonderful. Truth. My friend asked if I was going to be at a retreat this weekend. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Brian, you have a chat with my Molly? Ah, group chat with my mastermind buddies. I mean, look at these answers, people. I love customer inquiry about a remedy because that's a perfect example of why Messenger is so amazing for businesses. Somebody is reaching out to you asking about a remedy, and I don't know if you're in homeopathy, if you're doing something else, but or if you're just an e-commerce business selling certain things. I'm not really sure what you do, Leanne, but I'm going to talk about some of the nice. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've seen there. I'm working with a maternity brand right now, and I swear to God, sometimes I really love my job. I mean, the job that I do at ManyChat, I do a lot of different things, but one of the things that I love the most is working with badass people who are doing really cool shit and actually helping people out. And this maternity brand I'm working with, they work with a very specific person in a very specific context of their life. And I don't know if any of you are mothers. If you are mothers, God bless you, or whatever you say. I mean, for goodness sakes, I can only imagine how much of a maniac I was when I was a kid. So, mothers, when you are having babies and stuff, your bodies change, and that's like such a, oh my God, Marnie, you're a saint. 16 years old and a boy. Oh God, I'm so sorry, and also thank you. So, oh goodness gracious, yeah, football player. Yep, gross. So here's the thing: when you are a mama, these things happen to your body, and it's just some of it is magnificent, and some of it is just like terrifying. And um, I've helped raise children in my life. I've been around pregnant women. I've been around women who just had babies, and I've basically seen it all. And it can get crazy. Um, in a lot of the situations that I was around, the women who had just gone through pregnancy were elated at their new babies, but they were super just like freaked out, and they felt kind of alone in this struggle, right? And I think that if you're a mom, I would love to hear if you resonate with that. Just your body's changing, some stuff has happened, you don't look at yourself the same way, and clothes don't fit the same way, things hurt that didn't hurt before, and it can be a little bit of a pain, and or a lot of a pain in some cases. So this maternity brand I'm working with, what they do is they sell specialty garments. They sell like awesome bras for women who are breastfeeding, because everything changes when you're breastfeeding, and you need a special kind of support and all that stuff. If any boys are listening on this, I hope you're blushing a little bit, and thank your nearest lady for taking care of you, because that shit is crazy. So maternity brand using Messenger, you wouldn't believe the conversations that these people are having in Messenger with their people. I mean, people are reaching out in times of near crisis, just like freaked out. Their baby won't latch. They're just like, oh my God, what do I do? None of these people on the support team at this maternity brand are like licensed professionals, or they're not therapists. None of that stuff. And they never deal with anything that's outside of their scope. In other words, when people reach out and they're like feeling crazy, or they need psychological help, they always do a really good job of forwarding them the right information. But when they have a question they can answer, they get in there and they are so sweet to their customers. They'll send them little trinkets. They will have conversations with them and help them find just the right bra. They're doing conversational sales. They're doing consultative work with people, and it's all happening in Messenger. The point of this story for you guys is that is how beautiful Messenger can be. Like that to me is one of the pinnacles of how amazing Messenger is, because people trust Messenger as a medium. They don't think about using Messenger to message somebody and talk about something that's sensitive, right? So when I see people using Messenger as a spam platform, as just another channel to kind of like get their stuff out to the world, I'm disappointed, because I look at companies like this maternity brand that I'm working with, and they are having real actual conversations with people, and they're automating parts of it with the bot, right? The bot does a lot of really cool shit. The bot has a functional component where you can actually get information from people. You can find out what somebody's body measurements are with a bot, and then use that information to message them. But thank you, Brian. I know that this probably sounds a little rudimentary, and maybe some of you were coming here thinking, well, I want some tactical advice on the flows that are going to work for my webinar. But none of that stuff is really going to help you unless you understand the fundamentals here. Marnie, so nice having you. Join us next week. Love to see you in the community. Thank you for joining us. So that's what I'm trying to get across here is this is an amazing opportunity for all of you. compliance aside, Facebook aside, to reach people when they need you the most. Somebody out there right now is trying to make progress in their life in a very specific context of their life. I'm going to repeat this because I think it's super important. Somebody out there right now is trying to make progress in their life, and specifically in a very in a distinct context of their life. To put that into human language, there's a mama, if you're a maternity brand, there's a mama out there who is struggling with body image issues and a change in her hormones and feeling like she doesn't feel sexy anymore. She doesn't feel like anything. She just feels like a milk machine for her baby. She's trying to make progress. She's trying to feel a little bit better about herself, feel a little bit less alone, feel like somebody gets it and is trying to help her. And you know what? If you're a maternity brand selling, garments and tailor-made things for women, you have the opportunity to win a customer for life if you talk to them like a human being. Can you use a comments growth tool to engage that person, get them into your messenger bot so that you can start engaging with them? Hell yeah, you can. Can you use a growth tool on your website to offer them a coupon on something so that they start a conversation with you to get it? Yes, you absolutely can. But the end goal of any of these campaign entry points should be, how can I help this person make progress in their lives in a very specific context of their life even better? And how can I have a conversation with them that can help them make that progress? If the difference between this person having a product that's going to help them feel better about their life is a quick chat with one of your customer support agents in Messenger, man, you better make that happen. So anything else that you're doing to put obstacles in people's way to get to that progress is going to be a drop-off point. And when people talk about conversion rate optimization and how to get more people from comments growth tools into conversations, how's this for a rule? Help people make progress. Don't throw obstacles in people's way. You're just going to get a better conversion rate. It just by the nature of those conversations. So is everybody on the same page here? Is any of this stuff making sense to you guys? You guys all seem like pretty smart people. Just drop me a quick comment. Yep, Brian, thank you. Leanne, amazing, thank you. Okay, so awesome, wonderful. So that's the gist of this, and you're all really smart. So I want you to just extrapolate based on what we've just talked about, how this is a conversational medium, and that if you build everything on the philosophy of having good conversations with people, then you will win on this medium. You just will, because guess what? Everybody else is just trying to mass acquire as many subscribers as possible without really thinking about the quality of those subscribers, or without thinking about the quality of information and long-term relationship building that could happen with those people. The bot is just one portion of that. The bot is a very important part of that, because you can use the bot to engage with people, give them fun interactions. You can get them to talk to you about very specific things and get a lot of quality information from people very quickly about who they are, so that you can then segment them and communicate with them as they are at scale. The thing about email marketing, the thing about all these other channels is a lot of these things are one way by nature. They're just like, I'm going to just cast my net out and some people will respond. You have to think about Messenger differently if you want to win on this platform, because it's not about one way. You're not a spear fisherman. What you're doing is you're a lecturer. You are the person who's getting up and sharing and then getting feedback. It's a Socratic process. And with that being said, I'm going to defer to you guys for questions. So just to recap what we've just covered, we talked about Facebook compliance, and we talked about the fact that they don't want you to say comment yes below to get something in Messenger, because that doesn't lead to a quality engagement. And we talked about kind of what a quality engagement is versus what it isn't. We made 2 Facebook posts that follow. One is the pattern that you'd kind of want to avoid, and then this top one here is more of a pattern that you want to start moving towards, because that's going to open up conversations. A little bit of inside information for you guys from Facebook. Well, I had the chance to talk to one of the PMs there, and I have also spoken with one of the leaders at Messenger platform, and he told me a lot of really great stuff. One of them was, what is Messenger, like the platform, what, like the whole team that works there, and there's a lot of really cool people who work there, what's their priority? for 2018. I haven't told anybody this yet, so you guys, like right now, Brian, Leanne, Jeff, Diana, like you guys get to hear this, and this is like, these are conversations that are happening inside of ManyChat, but we don't really share a lot of this stuff often because we just are busy putting out fires and figuring shit out. So here's something that I'd like you all to know about Messenger and what the Messenger platform team is trying to do over the next year. And some of this stuff was in a blog post. David Marcus, or somebody representing David Marcus, posted a blog post about that. And David Marcus is like he's like the VP of messaging at Facebook. He's basically the CEO of Messenger, if you will. And he posted about what the next year of Messenger is going to look like. So let's just rehash some of that, and then I'm going to give you some insight into some of the product team insights. So David talked about how they want to streamline Messenger, and I think that's really cool. Messenger got a little bit cluttered over the past year. We had this like artificial assistant person thing that it was just a bot kind of, and it didn't really do much cool stuff. And it was just it would just interfere with random conversations you were having. So they're getting rid of that. And thank goodness, it was just kind of a waste of computing space, in my opinion. That being said, they are kind of doubling down on the Messenger APIs. I don't think that they even realized how insanely popular bots would become. And keep in mind, guys, we're like in the first 18 months of this. So this is an embryonic industry. This is an embryonic marketing channel. So yeah, they themselves, I don't think, realized how much traction they were going to get on these APIs and what people were going to do with them. They certainly didn't anticipate a ManyChat coming along and productizing the APIs like we have. So over the next year, expect even more stability improvements from the Messenger side, better APIs. You're going to be seeing ManyChat being able to talk to other applications much more freely. There's something called the handover protocol, which is being adopted by businesses. And what this is anybody who's doing customer support in Messenger knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you're using Zendesk or something and you've got the Messenger plugin enabled on Zendesk, every bot conversation triggers a new support ticket inside of Zendesk. So imagine if you have a really complex flow and people are clicking on buttons and replying. Every single one of those things is turning into a support ticket in Zendesk. So you could have like 100 support tickets open for one person who's just like talking to your bot. So that's a nightmare. And that's a huge bottleneck for people who are trying to adopt Messenger into the enterprise. So Facebook, in partnership with our CTO, the ManyChat CTO, I'm very proud of this, developed something called the handover protocol. And it's one of those kind of things that it starts to work better the more businesses use it. So we're trying to work with Zendesk. We're trying to work with Zapier. We're trying to work with a bunch of other kind of companies that are very well connected to many other services to get them to adopt this handover protocol so that basically Messenger can be the new one-to-one communication channel in small businesses. So the reason why this is cool for Facebook, and this comes back to the inside info I want to give you, Messenger team over the next year, their kind of main business goal is to start as many new threads as possible in Messenger. So every time somebody messages your page and they open a conversation with you, that's called a new thread, an open thread. So, and that's how Facebook describes it. So the more of those open threads, the better, and the faster that they acquire those open threads, the better. So Facebook from the inside is actually just a business, just like the kind that you run. It's just they operate on a scale that's not really fathomable to most people. I certainly can't fathom it. So if you want to help Facebook out and you want to do what's best for everybody involved, start really good conversations and hold those conversations open with those customers over time. That's good for you because you're going to build a long-term relationship with people, and it's good for Facebook because they want to see those open threads, baby. They want to see you acquiring new conversations, and they want to find ways to help you do that. So there's going to be some new ad formats, some ad formats that are being optimized, like the click to messenger ad is going to be much more available. It's going to be much easier to use. It's going to be much more the ROI of that ad is going to make much more sense over time. So think of it from that perspective. Like Facebook wants you to open threads and they want you to open quality threads, and they're going to make tools to help you do that. And in conjunction with tools like ManyChat, it's just going to be super powered. So that's kind of what's going on the inside of the Messenger team. Facebook giving you power over your newsfeed might be the best news since the opening of the ManyChat, like since the opening of the Facebook Messenger APIs. And the reason I think that's true is because it's all about relevance, people. It's all about relevance. If people self-select information that they're interested in, that's just going to be a much higher quality data set. So if you can self-select what you see in your newsfeed and you really want to see something from that maternity brand because you just like love their products, guess what the chances of you starting a conversation with that business are compared to if you just see a bunch of random shit in your newsfeed. Now, this is anecdotal. Keep in mind I'm just a person, but I have a feeling that over the next 6 to 8 months, you're going to see much more relevant ad placements, especially as some of these new things roll out, and Facebook makes it easier for people to self-select things that they want to see in their newsfeed. It might be harder to get into a lot of people's newsfeed, but the newsfeeds that you do get into, it's going to be a much higher quality engagement. So think of it from this perspective. As a media company in the world, your only job right now is to start opting for quality over quantity. Gone are the days when you could just spam out a bunch of shit to a bunch of people and just watch the dollars fall in. Like, those days are over. It's too competitive. There too many apps and services are competing for people's attention. And if you want to hold people's attention, if you want to retain attention, keyword is retention. You want to retain those people's attention. If you want to do that, get them into Messenger, build long-term relationships with people. This is the next wave of marketing, people. Conversational commerce, relationship building. We are getting back to basics because you know what? No matter what happens to channels, people are just trying to be heard. They're just trying to have a relationship with you. Let them do that. Let them have a relationship with you. Use Messenger to build those relationships. Okay, that's the end of my rant, folks. If you have any questions, we have a couple minutes left, and I would love to answer them. I hope some of this has been useful for you. Drop me a comment just to make sure. I just want to see if anybody's still here. Like I said, I am going to check to see if that first part of this was recorded. Either way, I'll try to get most of this recording up for you guys. Brian, that's really great. I love hearing that because ultimately we work for Facebook. I consider myself a minion of Facebook. So if we are helping you buy ads better and you're buying higher quality ads and you're getting better ROI on those ads, I feel like I'm doing a really good job. Cool. If I share my Facebook Live to my timeline, will my ManyChat bot still work? So Diana, wonderful question. The thing is that the Facebook Live is actually just a post. It's a page post. And the comments growth tool only works on the page itself, on the Facebook page upon which you've added that bot. So if you share that post to your timeline and people comment from your timeline onto that post, unfortunately, the bot will not see that as a conversation with a post on a page. It will see that as a comment on something on your Facebook profile. So there is a distinct difference between a Facebook profile and a Facebook business page. If it looks like it's on a Facebook page, a business page, the bot can see it. If it looks like it's coming from a Facebook profile, the bot will not be able to see it. Hopefully that kind of explains it. You're welcome. All right. Wow. I really appreciate you guys sticking through, especially like the first 15 minutes when you were just looking at a dead screen. That is absolutely amazing to me. Jeff, you're welcome. Now to apply to a simple restaurant meal offer. So would you talk about, say, the restaurant, then ask a question like, do you prefer steak or fish, then offer the meal deal? Oh, that's really fascinating. I love the food service industry. I work from pubs and coffee shops. Those have been my offices for the last like 10 years. I also ran a small food service business early in my life, which was a really great experience, and it was also terrible. Food service business is such a tough bracket, such low margins, and there's such a huge opportunity for digital marketing. So I really love that you're doing this for restaurants. So this is what I would say about this thing. And I'm going to give you kind of a weird way of thinking about this that people really don't tend to think about in the food service industry. People, and I'm going to make a fundamental assertion, you absolutely have the right to disagree with me. And this is some nerd shit, everybody. So if you're totally done with me, you can leave and I won't be offended. If you want to do stuff, digital marketing for a food service business, you need to ask yourself a fundamental question. Why do people actually go to this restaurant? What is the progress somebody trying to make in their life right now where going to this restaurant is the thing that they think is going to help them make progress? And this is what I've got to say about that. Most people don't go to a restaurant to buy food because they need food. And that's a fundamental assertion that I'm going to make for you right now. Most people do not go to a restaurant because they're hungry. That is a secondary factor or a tertiary factor. Most people go to restaurants for a few reasons. Number one is they're actually buying time with people they care about. What they're doing is they're saying, I'm trying to make progress towards like being more present with my wife, and I don't know how to do that at home. I'm at work all day. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her to La Pigeon in Portland. It's a really fancy restaurant. I'm going to take her to La Pigeon because, I don't even know what foie gras is, but I'm going to go buy her foie gras because this is going to help us have a moment together. It's going to help us like bond in a way that I think is going to help us make progress in our marriage. That's why people go to restaurants, my friend. People don't go to restaurants because they care about steak or fish. They're going there to have an experience of togetherness with people they care about. They're going there to feel rich. They're going there to feel like there's an abundance in their life or to conspicuously consume something that's rare. Like what I'm asking you to do, Jeff, you're a really smart dude. Think about why somebody's going to that restaurant. What is the job they're trying to get done? What is the progress they're trying to make in their life? And structure your restaurant meal offer around that progress. Help somebody feel like they're making progress and ask them a question that's going to reinforce that they're making the right decision. I know that that's not a direct answer, but that is the mental framework that you can use to kill it every time. If you understand that progress that somebody's trying to make in their life, you will be able to write answers. You will be able to write messaging to them, which will slay any doubts that they have that this is the right thing to do. Again, I'm going to come back to the maternity brand. The progress that a woman who's just had a child and is breastfeeding and that child just latched and they're maybe having some stomach problems and their bodies are all messed up because they had a C-section. You know what the progress is that woman is trying to make? They're saying to themselves, holy shit, what did I get into? I have this beautiful thing in my life. I've never felt so alone in my life. My boobs hurt. What do I do to get rid of this boob pain? Like the progress they're trying to make is they're trying not to freak out and like they're trying to make the boob pain go away and feel like they're not completely alone in the world with this like monumental challenge. And that's it. Yeah, I think you could use that for any business. And you're very welcome. And I hope that everybody can take something away from that. And that knowledge that I just shared with you is something. I mean, I can't tell you how hard won that knowledge was. I've tried to launch so many different campaigns in my life. I've launched a couple of businesses that failed outright. And frankly, in retrospect, looking at the success of ManyChat over the last year, looking at a lot of the things that have worked really well, things that didn't work very well, 100% of the time that they did work well, I got lucky, number one. And number two, I was paying attention to helping somebody make progress in their life. And it wasn't about me anymore. It was about helping them make progress. Okay. Really appreciate you guys. Brian, Jeff, Leanne, Diana, you guys have been amazing. Really appreciate your patience. And I'm going to go ahead and jump off now. I'm going to go blow my nose. I've had a cold for the last like 6 days. I got it from Molly, and I love Molly, but man, she really bummed me out with this cold. All right. Look forward to seeing you guys in the community. If you have any more questions, just drop them in there and be nice and love each other and have a good day.